All right, I'll give you guys what I have in terms of the injuries and availability today. Everyone will practice today in some capacity except the following players: Jake Kumro, Taiwan Jones, both with injuries, and then Roger Saffold and Von Miller will have veteran rest days today. Isaiah McKenzie cleared concussion protocol, and then Tre'Davious White, his practice window will start today. He will not play in the game, but he will be out there today, and he'll play when he is ready at this point. So, but he will not play this week. With that, I'll turn it over to you.
What was Taiwan's injury?
Knee in the game. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the team that we all know that is standing in your way for the last couple of years. What is the mentality, Sean, going into their place again?
I just think, yes, they're a really good team, and you know they've been there for a long time. You know, Andy Reid coached football teams win, and they win often, and they sustain it. And they're really tough at home, as we know. We've been out there a number of times now. You know, they've got a really good roster as well, very deep, talented players, playmakers at a lot of the positions, as you saw Monday night, and you got to prepare for 4 quarters of football and sometimes longer. So, really good opponent. We have a lot of respect for them. You know, so we'll have a practice today and get out there and get ourselves ready to go.
Can you address what happened, last January to your team when you talked to the Bills, your players this morning?
No. I don't think there's a need to. They're aware, and this is a new team. In a lot of ways, we've already shown that this year in a lot of ways, and this team will take on its own identity, as I've said before. But from a respect standpoint, we still have the same level of respect like we did last year for them.
And I know when, and I respect when you say that that result does not define us. But how do you square that when other people try to define it on this team, as Troy Aikman did Monday night during the broadcast when the Chiefs got the ball with 17 seconds left in the first half, and he brings up what happened. How do you square that?
Square what? I don't get your question.
Other people will attempt to define this team with what happened in January.
Well, I mean that did happen. That's part of our past, on one hand, but it's also part of our past, right? And so we're looking ahead to this game, and that's going to happen. People are going to write what they want to write, and this team will take on its own identity. You learn from things like that, and you move forward, and you're not afraid to learn from things and correct things and adjust and evolve. That's what you do. It's what you do in life. It's what you do in a sport like football, and you go after it every week, trying to put your best foot forward. Sometimes you get the results you're looking for, and the fact of the matter is sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, you have to continue to stay resilient and persistent, both in life and in sports, and that's what we do.
Sean, I was just going to follow on that. That's a growth and a maturation process, and going through situations like last year and other big stage games that this core group has been a part of. How much better condition? I know it's a new team, but there are some leadership in there that remains the same. How much better conditioned and prepared for situations like this, maybe to tune out the outside noise and all of that, is this group compared to maybe earlier in your time?
Yeah, I think, when you've been where we've been now and played in the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, so on and so forth, you develop experience, you develop an awareness, you develop a mindset, and a situation where a lot of our veteran core leaders have been around now for some years and been through those situations before, and led by Josh in particular. And so you're comfortable in these situations, and for us, this is the next game on the schedule, and we'll stay consistent with our routine.
Is that tangible, Sean? What you mentioned, some of the mental awareness part of it, like on a week like this, where they don't get too tight or take a certain way and stay calm.
I think every game's the same size. You know, you guys will write what you're going to write, and respect that. For us as competitors, this is the next game on our schedule, and that's not out of disrespect for the Chiefs. If anything, it's out of respect. And we stay in our routine, we stay with our process, and we let our personality show, but we stay consistent with our preparation.
You've smiled a few times here. You seem to enjoy maybe something that this team has to prove in some ways.
Just comfortable with this football team. Comfortable going out there today and practicing and trying to get us better.
Sean, you say you learned, what did you learn from that experience in Kansas City in the playoffs?
Oh, man, I think, Jerry, you know, you learn a lot about yourself, about the people around you, how to be a better coach. I mean, it's just I think, a refining process that you go through as a person, as a coach in this case, when you go through not only downs, but also very high highs that we've had. And so I think the evolution of our football team, the evolution of our staff, you know, and the adjustments that we've made, not making an over-adjustment, but also not making an under-adjustment either. So you just continue to learn about yourself and your team.
Sean, report out there that Micah Hyde had some surgery done on his neck. Have you talked to him, and how is he doing?
I have. Yeah, he's doing extremely well. He's in good spirits. He certainly, you know, misses being here, and we can't wait to see him when he gets back here. But he has had that surgery, and so, you know, we're looking forward to getting him back here when he's back.
Coach, with respect to Trey, are you putting him on a pitch count as he enters the practice setting, so to speak, here, or is it a ramp up? I guess how
Yeah, it's naturally. Yeah, I don't want to get too far into the details right now, Chris, just because, you know, first and foremost, Trey has worked extremely hard to get himself back to where he is now. And I want to respect that in terms of how that's going to look going forward. So we're just going to take it not only one practice at a time, but bear with me when it says one play at a time in practice, and just go from there. So I think it's just let's crawl before we walk, and that'll be the approach.
Wesley had talked about there'd be a bit of a mental boost to just have Trey back out there when that happened and that sort of thing. What is it going to be like just to see him back on the practice field after you've seen him go through all the recovery?
Yeah, I think that's, Elena, that's, you know, that's, we've seen, and only he has really seen what he's been through, what he's gone through. But just excited for him to be out there. Again, he's not going to play this week, so it's important that he takes care of himself, and the energy that will be out there because of that will obviously help. That said, he's not playing in the game this week, so the rest of the team needs to, you know, keep their eyes on the goal in front of them this week.
What is the challenge about stopping Travis Kelce, and does it get even tougher in the red zone?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw the other night they had 4 touchdowns. So he's an elite player. I mean, he's been an elite player for a number of years. You know, so you try different things. They tried different things the other night. At the end of the day, you know, you're going to win some of those battles. You're going to lose some against elite players. That's what happens.
With that in mind, what do you like with Andy Reid in the red zone, particularly the deep red zone? I mean, going back to when you were with him, did you just laugh sometimes at some of the he'd pull off some, you know, 1935 play on you when you were with him? And what do you think of how do you deal with all of the I can't deal with that he throws?
Yeah, it's real. They do a phenomenal job, very creative down there. And then the execution as well. So I think they're, top 5 in the NFL in the red zone, maybe 4th or 3rd or something like that. So after Monday night's game, but very successful in the red zone.
John, what strikes me when I watch Kelsey is, why is this guy always open? I mean, I understand that they're scheming, but you would think an elite player like that, the defense would just know that you got to be out, and he's just running free. How do they do it? How does he do it?
That's probably a better question for Kelsey and Andy. And if defenses could solve it, you know, probably making a lot of money somewhere else right now. But no, he's an elite player, and elite players are hard to stop. So again, you saw it again Monday night, 4 touchdowns. I mean, it's unheard of, right? But a lot of respect for what he does.
Sean, how have you seen them try to make up
Yeah.
having good chemistry with those new guys.
Yeah, you know, Andy's never going to be short on weapons. Brett Veach in this case, and Andy do a great job putting the roster together. And they lose Tyreek Hill, obviously an impact player, and they add the players that they did in the offseason. So a lot of speed out there, a lot of matchup problems, concerns, challenges, however you want to say it. And then they've got the quarterback and Patrick that can, you know, extend plays with his feet and throw the ball, you know, very accurately down the field. So it presents a big challenge.
Sean, what stands out to you the most about the big play element that Gabe Davis seems to bring to this offense almost weekly when he's healthy?
Yeah, I think that was the key, you know, when he's healthy, you know, and you know, it balances the field out for us with Steph on one side and Gabe on the other. And Gabe's a really good football player, as you guys have seen, and a very fierce competitor. So it's big for us when he can make the catches that he's made.
Sean, I know you've seen Josh lead his team from behind before the end of last year, but that comeback last year, you know, 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes on the road playoff, that's no ordinary comeback. What kind of an impact did that performance have on his team?
Well, again, I think those are experiences like the question earlier that you learn from. You learn about yourself. You learn about your teammates. You learn about your team, and there's no substitute for experience, whether it's a good experience or a tough experience. You have to go through, and now Josh has that, you know, in his mindset. Even if he didn't before, he's done it now, right, and done it at a high level. So, you know, obviously, it's a good mindset to have.
Sean, with the changes you've made up front defensively, how much better equipped do you feel maybe heading into this game? You know, with Vaughn and some of the dynamic and tactical, you know, change that brings in terms of game planning, you know, to deal with Mahomes in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, we feel confident in our players. You know, they've done some things with their front. Their front, offensively, their front, I'm talking in this case, has gotten better. They've developed their players there. Credit to Andy Heck, their offensive line coach. And it's about, at the end of the day, it's about execution, you know. So, you know, can you execute when you need to execute? And can things work together in symmetry on the defensive side to take care of all the things that they beat you with the receivers, a tight end, and Kelsey, and the backs out of the backfield, and Patrick extending the play.
Coach, what's your take on the roughing the passer calls that happened over the weekend? Just the rule, is it clear to you? Is it cloudy? Just your take after, obviously, the controversy of the weekend.
Yeah, I don't get too involved with that. You know, whatever the officials call, that's what they call, and then we live with it. And adjustments are made at the appropriate times. It seems like from year to year. So we go week to week.
Sean, how much have you seen the Chiefs change what they do, if at all, on offense now that Tyreek Hill is down in Miami and not in Kansas City?
You know, a little bit here and there. I think that some things are noticeable, some not so much. But Andy's so good. Eric Bieniemy's so good at scheming. Matt Nagy's there as well now too. So they've got a really good staff, and they do such a great job scheming week to week and adjusting during the game that it also makes them tough to beat because of that.
Sean, you've shown the ability.
It's my last one. I gotta get going here. So.
You've shown the ability to come back in games. We've seen the Chiefs do that multiple times. Does that impact you at all in your thinking of a game, even from the start, when it's that team you're playing and they've had a variety of ways of coming back? Does it impact the way you think out the game going into it?
Yeah, I mean, just from a game management standpoint, as you prepare, as we prepare, as I prepare, that is in kind of one of the variables that you factor in, that they've been able to do that, and again, as late as Monday night, down 17. So you just kind of, you know, want to be aware of what you're going against there. All right, thanks.